All right, all right, all right. Let's get everybody up in here. Um, let's get everybody up in here. Hmm, what's going on? Wow, we're going to go over a few things today. Let me just get everything here in order. All right. Okay, 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 okay. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. All right. So let's chop this up. How's everybody doing out there in YouTube land? Mm, get a little spirit up in here.
Hey, this is Brad Callen. I'm so excited to show you the demo of our new software called Toonly, which makes it super.
All right. Shout out to my Shout out to Kambada, good brother Kambada. All right. 24 hours. All right, fam. First, we want to wish RIP to our good brother Chadwick Boseman. You transitioned at a very young age, but your works will never be forgotten. And of course, you know, the number of characters that you played are unforgettable, but the Black Panther is by far your greatest piece of work. But here's my question. Could Chadwick still have been here had he taken a natural therapy path? This is the question we have to ask ourselves. Our community, in fact, the whole world, but our community in particular, is really hurting in regards to our health. We have strayed off the path. Now, I am an herbalist. I'm a natural healer. And I believe, not just believe, but also practice reversing diseases through the natural way without side effects. Now, imagine how many of our great people would be here still if they were to stay disciplined and on the correct path with their nutrition and their health. This is something, unfortunately, that we get like a little tap on the head as a people. You know, when we lose someone who is famous or well known, and then we go right back to sleep. It's sad. I don't like to see this, you know, but we need to do something about this. We can correct this. We have all the mechanisms to do this. We as a people, we spend over $11,000 a year on healthcare. Imagine if you were to invest as little as $1,500 to reverse and put your body in such a state in which you got your best health. Imagine that. That's available to you. And the rest of that money that you can invest in your community. I mean, just think about that. How transformational would that be? We have to get back. We have to go back to our discipline. We have to do this. We as a people cannot get off the ground without natural healing. We cannot get off the ground without our health. We can talk about empowerment, we can talk about this and that, but we're not going to move and make any progress unless we are healthy physically. Man, I tell you. So just imagine this brother had the financial means, like so many of our celebrities do, but they still follow this westernized type of healing. I'm not against hospitals, definitely not, because there are many different facets to this industry, and it's everybody has their own lane. But when it comes to diseases, we should not have any cancer anymore. We shouldn't have any of these diseases anymore, because we have so much information available to us. We have so many healers, herbalist healers like myself. We should not be losing, but we're still losing because we are not disciplined. We have to make sacrifice. We have to make sacrifices. And it's not even a sacrifice. I mean, for wanting to go the correct path is never a sacrifice. It's the right thing to do. Your health is imperative. Now, there are so many ways that we can put an end to this. We need to put an end to this. This should be a part of our goal. Our health, number one. So we have I have products that can reverse all these diseases, these things that has put our people in such a deficit. But we're gonna have to make up our minds. We're gonna have to take that path. So our good brother, just imagine, could have been here to make so many more great films and play incredible characters like he did in the Black Panther. But if you notice in the Black Panther in the movie, when he was at a deficit for answers, he would use this mushroom, he would use this herb to go into another realm in which he would gain the wisdom and knowledge. Why could that not have been practiced in the real world? I am not necessarily harping on the brother, but I'm using him as an example, for our community. Our community spends billions of dollars every year. Billions. Just imagine if we took a portion of that money and we were to open up health centers, healing centers, all over our community. We have the money. We have the resources. We have the people like myself to where we can set up like a socialized natural healing. We can do this in our community. We can do this globally to knock out all these diseases. I mean, when we knock these diseases out, we have the mechanisms. But imagine what it would be like. How much money, how much more money would be in our pockets, how much longer we would have our loved ones around. Can you imagine that? That extra money that we're no longer paying out for these other types of therapies and medication and doctor visits. Can you imagine? We have our own banks, our own financial institutions, our own learning institutions, all of that. But we don't want to give up on that macaroni and cheese. We don't want to give up on them chitlins. We don't want to give up on that greasy spare ribs, them toxic neck bones. Family, listen, we need discipline. And what does discipline mean? Discipline means doing what has to be done when it has to be done, whether you like it or not. Let me say that again. Discipline means doing what has to be done when it has to be done, whether you like it or not. We need to lay down this discipline in regards to our health. We have the resources, we have the money. We should not be having, this should not be a problem in our community. But it is devastating our community. I see many of us walking around at young ages, swollen legs, swollen ankles, popping pills. What happened to us? Why can't we not reinvest back into our healers? All the answers are there in regards to our health. All the answers are there in regards to our health. Come on, fam. Let's make this, from this moment on, let's use this brother and his great works, and let's use his transitioning as a jump off point to where we now take full responsibility. We're going to get on a health code. We're going to get our exercise on. We're going to do our cleansing. We're going to eradicate and say within our community, no more diabetes, no more strokes, no more heart disease, no more gout, no more of these diseases. We're going to take them out. And not only are we going to eliminate these diseases, we are going to take that money now and we're going to put it into our own institutions. Wow. Can you imagine that? Healthy people? I need to tell you this, fam. Your nutrition, your health ties into your intellect. Your health ties into your intellect. You're not going to build a strong nation on physically sick people. You are not going to build a strong nation on physically sick people. It is very important to know that. We need to take this thing when we go to bed. We should be planning, okay, what are we going to do? What exercise are we going to do tomorrow? I'm going to get my CMOS. I'm going to take my iron phosphates. I'm going to take my minerals. But I'm going to get off that meat. I'm going to get off that meat. Get off the cow. Get off the pig. Get off the chicken. Because the flesh of these animals does not work with our body's biochemistry. It is causing us great loss. Did you know the pig? The pig is not a creation of God. The pig is a creation of hybridization. The pig has a trichina worm. This worm goes into your system, and this worm will go to your brain. It becomes a part of your consciousness. Now this thing is, when you think, that is also a part of your thinking process. Can you imagine that? A part of your thinking is a part of another creature is helping to dictate your thoughts. Is it a wonder why our community are in such a deficit? The cow is also a creature of hybridization. Now, each animal has its own distinct form of diseases and plagues. The cow has the bovine virus. The cow, that red meat, is going to do you great harm. You're looking at uric acid. The cow, one of the most popular animals we eat. Now we go to the chicken, which is another hybrid creature. The chicken gout. Most of my patients that I've found do have gout. When I trace their diet, I find that there's a lot of chicken, especially too with preachers. Preachers seem to eat a lot of chicken. For some reason, it's very, very odd. It's like an odd mixture. But the chicken is going to give you that gout. And generally, I found when men, they have gout, they tend to have a problem with their plumbing, their impotency. There seems to be a connection with that. So these types of flesh is eating up our cells. How much longer are we going to go with this? Now we have so many vegan options these days. I am a big time proponent of plant-based. I eat a plant-based diet. I used to eat all the meat and all that stuff before when I was I'm still heavily into resistance training, but I'll tell you, I feel so much better now. I don't have all that inflammation and that cramping, because that's from all those types of acids and all those toxins that are in that meat and in that flesh. Now, You might say, well, Gary, um, um, I can't just give up that flesh just like that. I understand. You don't want to go cold turkey. It's hard to cold turkey people. I would not recommend cold turkeying people, but however, when patients come to me for therapy, the first thing that we have to do, we have to cut out, we have to cut out the flesh. Why? Because that causes so much inflammation in your body. So we have to remove all that inflammation. If you want to heal diseases, you have to first remove the inflammation. The inflammation is a blocker for receptors in your body. We have to clean the liver, the kidneys, the lymphatic system, the endocrine system, the digestive system. We have to clean all that out. We have to remove all the inflammation. So in my therapy, we remove all the flesh. And I'll tell you, you take that flesh out, wow, you're making a big jump already in regards to reducing the inflammation. And next, we got to clean it out. We got to do a thorough cleansing. After we do our cleansing, now we need to replenish the system. We need to put back in because we've stripped the system of a lot of its nutrients as well as the inflammation. But now we gotta replenish the system now. And now we're putting the body in a state in which it can heal itself. Because it's the formulas puts the body in a state where the body can heal itself. All I basically do, I formulate these things that God creates. And they're the ones, it's actually God doing the work. I am just a vehicle. I'm like a conduit. I put all these formulas together. And when we put them, we take the right amounts, and we have to take high dosages also. Because the body has been so stripped and has been damaged for, in many cases, decades. Because most of my patients are people, late 30s on up. So imagine you have how many decades of damage done to your cells. Yes, we're gonna have to do high dosages to get your system back up. And the chief mineral is iron. The chief mineral is iron. You're not going to get moving until you got that iron in your system. There's iron in a lot of different plants, but we have to do a lot, high dosages of iron. Just like the late, great Baba Sebi mentioned, yes, you have to do high dosages of iron. Why? Because the iron is the only it's the only mineral that is magnetic. And when you have the iron in your system, it makes all the other minerals start to really work now, function properly at its optimum level. So if we don't have that iron body, nothing is going to really get going. So we need large dosages of iron. Well, you may say, gee, man, we got to be careful. We get too much. You go and find me one person on this planet that you know that has ever taken too much iron phosphate and has passed away from it. I said iron phosphate. I did not say oxide. The iron that the doctor gives you is a completely different type of iron. It's from an oxide source. The body is not made to absorb oxides. It's made to absorb phosphates from plant sources. That's the beauty of nature. It creates the same type of mineral, one be used for industrialization and the other be absorbed through the plant kingdom. Did you know even gold? There is a plant-based form of gold, silver, copper. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that beautiful? Mother Nature is always and will always be the way. So, to our good brother, oh my good brother, I wish I could have reached out to you. I wish I'd known, or you could have reached out to me. But in our hearts and minds, you will never be forgotten. In fact, you're an inspiration, character. Both on the screen, the character that you played, the Black Panther, and for the work that you've done in the community. But we're going to use your passing like a behind a Magic Johnson or Steve Nash. Don't look past behind the back. Take it down the middle and slam it. Pow! We're going to use your passing as a catalyst for the revival of our health. I want to be able to read the paper one day or the internet. I want to read, wow, how all these different celebrities and big name people, because our society unfortunately follows, and I don't like to follow people, but we live in a society where we need stimulation. Okay, if that's the case, let's stimulate people in a positive way. I would love to see our people, our influencers, our celebrities, our athletes, commenting on how their health has just taken off like that, and that they've gotten to a cruising altitude to where how good they feel, and they all have their testimony, and then this becomes right across the board where everybody now is practicing that, where we don't read as often, if not eradicate completely. It's going to take some time to eradicate completely, where nobody is dying of premature death, where we're dying naturally. We're dying naturally. I mean, very few people die naturally anymore. All you hear, this person died of this person died of that. That's all you hear. Well, we want to hear stories of, man, this brother, he was 110, 120, 130. He was on his own. He was doing his own thing. He wasn't walking with no cane or crutches. He went out to the garden one day and he came back. He went to sleep and he transitioned. And you don't read, well, he had joints, pain in his joints. He had high blood pressure. He had type 1 diabetes. He didn't hear all of that. The man or woman, they were coherent, and they just passed away naturally. That's how it should be. That's how it should be. So that's what our aim should be. I would love, how great it would be that we heal so many of our people that it catches on, it becomes a norm in our community. And I would not imagine I'd be out of business. I'd have to get into something else. Boy, how great that would be. Because how I speak is what a healer, a healer's job should actually be. In ancient times, our healers, our healers would work to make sure everybody is healed. He would not get paid if somebody got sick. He was paid to make sure that nobody was sick. If somebody got sick, he don't get paid. That's how we should work. We should readopt that policy. We need to have our own council, our own healing council from an African perspective. Now, an African perspective of healing is different than a westernized natural pathway of healing, the Afro-Biomineral balance. I'll tell you why. We vibrate at the highest level. And the higher that you vibrate is the higher your quality of life. But our therapy works for everybody. That's the beauty. It works for everybody. So we need to have our own council, our own think tank, to where we can unite. I know we have so many herbalist healers, and if you go to 100 of them, and if you ask the same question, you can get 100 different answers. It's not interesting. In the westernized medicine, if you ask the same question 100 times, you get the same answer. Now, you say, man, no wonder we got so much confusion in natural therapy. Well, I can say there's two ways we can look at that. Yes, we need to have some sort of uniformity, but you're going to have some variance too. Like, for example, I only use alkaline, 99% alkaline substances, just like the late great Baba Sebi. He does not include garlic, in his food list. I don't either. Is it to say that garlic cannot be used as part of a therapy? I used to be heavily against it, but it can be used. It can be used externally. Some herbalists, some healers use it internally. A lot of them use it internally, like for example, to clean out blockages. Like, for example, garlic is excellent for cleaning out blockages. It does. But the problem is, right? First of all, garlic is hybrid. Garlic is hybrid. So if something is hybrid, it's going to eat your cells. And the lower the alkalinity, the closer it is to zero, the number, is the more toxic it is and the more fast acting it is. So I don't use garlic. I mean, garlic is, great flavor. Garlic was invented in Egypt over 5,000 years ago. Garlic is very popular. So you hear a lot of herbalists talking about garlic. Yes, it does unclog blockages. It definitely does that. But the problem is it will eat away at the membrane. That's the problem. So garlic was actually used as a poison If you rub a bullet, if you rub some garlic on a bullet and you shoot someone in the leg or arm, it won't stop bleeding. Garlic was used for poisoning. Rub it on a knife, cut someone, and it's going to keep bleeding. Like I said, some healers, they use it internally. Would I be against it using it externally? Because it can be used in some purposes externally to fix some problems. I wouldn't be against that. But internally, to eat as part of the diet, I would say no. No, I would not. I've eliminated garlic from my diet. I don't eat garlic, nor would I recommend it for someone to eat. People might say, "Well, man, Gary, what about flavor and taste?" You're silly. You're silly. You are not going to lose any flavor and taste. It's all a matter of combining your spices. I also cook. As an herbalist, I think you need to know how to cook, because you can assist people, during their journey. So you're gonna have to know a lot of things. You're gonna have to cooking is one of those things that you need to know as a herbalist. So you can walk people through and say, hey, listen, man, since I can't use this spice, well, what else can I use? And you tell them, okay, you can use this instead. So there's always a lot of other options, because people live for flavor. We live for flavor, man. That's why I've spent decades solving this riddle, with practicing it myself. So I've been able to solve that riddle by experimenting with flavors, different types of spices and things like that to get over that problem, because I know that people are gonna have the same problems like what I went through. So I can tell you what spices to use based on what you want to cook. I can do that in my sleep. It's secondary now for me. But what I can say is this, though, right? On my food list, it's very similar to Dr. Sebi. There is a few things that I would allow that he doesn't allow. But I put it like this: when you're eating, let's say you have one acid product on your plate, or two acid substances. You want to have at least 4 or 5 alkaline substances to try to negate or somewhat neutralize the effect of those acid things that you're eating. So, for example, I believe Dr. Sebi allows spinach. I eat spinach. Spinach is actually hybrid, but the alkalinity of spinach it's up there in the 6.5, 6.7 around there. So it's close. So it's not as damaging. So as I mentioned before, the closer you are to zero when it comes to foods that you eat, the closer you get is the more toxic. So garlic is like 3.5 around there. So you see how close that is to zero? So it's more toxic. So it's more deadlier. Garlic has a substance I did not mention. It's called the acid. It's called alim. So it's very, very toxic. But I allow some things on my, like tomatoes. Tomatoes are hybrid too, but I eat tomatoes. So I combine it, though, again, with several alkaline substances to balance out the damage. So yeah, it may sound complicated, but it's practice makes perfect. And we have so many options now. So many options of how to cook plant-based and with plant taste. To call it plant-based and plant taste, because I mean, you have a brother like, shout out to Ty's Conscious Kitchen. Man, this brother makes, there's no way, if you watch this brother's channel, again, his name is Ty Conscious Kitchen. He's one of many. He makes, I mean, he makes some of your favorite foods, you know, alkaline. Not everything is alkaline, but it's predominantly alkaline. I would say probably most of the stuff is probably a 90-10 ratio of alkaline compared to acid substances. But he makes things like pizza, cakes, cookies. I mean, some of our favorite treats, and they're very tasty too. You're winning. You ain't losing. You're winning. They're really tasty. Now, just think about that. So you can have all of that. You're winning now. There is no reason for us to be eating the garbage. Now, if you were to eat some of the garbage, you're going to be eating it less because you know, okay, all right, let's say you like pizza. You go and you eat. So now you can make a healthy pizza. You got spelt flour as your foundation. And, you know, this brother teaches you how to make cheese natural cheese that gives you the same flavor and effect. But, I mean, if you were to go out and eat something junky, you're not going to do it as often if you start on this path. And you're going to be doing it lesser and lesser and lesser. And if you do go out and eat garbage, you want to be in that mind state that, you know, you cleanse, you do a thorough cleanse. But I assure you, if you start on this path of going plant-based, you will over time less and less and less and less and less eat the garbage, you know. Am I perfect? No. Do I sometimes eat some of the garbage? Just like Baba Sebi? Absolutely. And I get riddled with guilt, like many of you do. But here's the thing. Your body reacts. Your body tells you, uh-oh, you know what? I told you don't eat this. So I'm going to give you a zit. These are some of the side effects I get. I get a zit, especially if I eat, let's say I go and I eat like a pizza. That cheese, man, or all that grease, that fat, woo! I get a zit on I usually get the middle of my forehead, on the tip of my nose, or the side of my head here. And Mother Nature makes sure that she puts it, a little out of focus here, that she puts it in places where it's visible. So it's not like you can hide it, you know. It's not like, you know, you get it on your leg or your bum or whatever, you get it, or in your back, you get it right in a place that's visible, you know. But I cleanse it out. And I don't do it for long, you know. Maybe I'll go a day or two, and that's that, you know. But it's not that I have a craving because I know how to make healthier version. But sometimes, you know, you're out there, you know, sometimes you got that good Jamaican food, that, you know, beef patty in front of you, you know. But man, you clean that out of your system. You cleanse your system, and you cleanse your system thoroughly. So if you're gonna cheat, do a thorough cleanse after. You'll feel so good. You might even get mad at yourself and say, damn, I shouldn't have done that. I forgot how crappy I feel. You know, so, but I want to touch on that too, because we're all human. We're all human. So we understand that, and, you know, unfortunately, our taste buds have been created for us. Now, how often do I cheat personally on the food? Man, It can run 6 months, sometimes up to a year. That's right. It wasn't always like that. Before, it was like, before I got on this path, it was like maybe every 3 or 4 months. But right now, I mean, as it is, I mean, 6 months to a year. You know, because my nutrition is so balanced. In terms of sweetness, sweet things, salts, and when you eat natural, when you eat correct and you eat natural, you will have less tendency to eat the garbage, for real. you know and when there's a perception that when people talk about eating healthy, that, oh man, it ain't all that, it's boring. It really isn't. It's about spices. It's about how you cook the food. And this is going to become, I think, in the future, actually now, this is going to become a booming business. It's already happening. I mean, they're making like a vegan fried chicken, by using mushrooms, like the turkey tail mushrooms or oyster mushrooms. They got mushrooms that actually taste like shrimp, and you can bread it and everything. And they got videos for that. Ty's Conscious Kitchen again got videos for that. So you can really set that up right. And with rice, I love rice, but now you got alkaline rice. It's always been there. It's a little expensive. I make an alkaline version of rice, how to make the rice alkaline, so that way you don't lose. So there's no reason, again, why we should be losing. So our good brother, it could have saved his life. My intracellular chelation 2 package would have easily saved this brother's life. Easily saved his life. Why? Because it's going to go to work right away. It's going to attack those foreign cells that are in his body. My first cancer patient, Jose Galvan, Hospital Sierra Ancon. He had cancer in the bone, and he had cancer in the prostate. And in 3.5 months, he was cancer free. In 3.5 months, he was cancer free. Not only did he have cancer, because I need to tell people this. People need to understand this. Whenever you have one disease, let's say you got cancer, right? You have to understand, you just didn't go from 0 to having cancer one day. There are many steps. There is a pathology, there's a path that you take towards getting to this point. So we have to reverse all those things first. Our formula does just that. Reverse all those things. We get to the cancer. So my patient, Jose Galvan, one of the first things that was done, he was taking medications. One of the primary medication was morphine. He was given high dosages of iron. But the first thing we had to do, to get off of eating the flesh. Stop eating that damn red meat and that pork. So we had to get him off the flesh. And he ate. He ate. The only thing that he ate was fruits and specific fruits like soursop, watermelon, papaya, and drink lots of water, lots of spring water. That's all in terms of eating, because, you know, in all actuality, if you want to heal disease, the best thing for you to do, sick, is not to eat. You'll see how quickly, just making that move alone, you just to eat, just live on, just drink water. You see how quick that inflammation whoosh, comes down. So bring that inflammation down. That's the key. The first thing, we have to stop, reduce that inflammation. That was one of the first steps. Was it difficult for him? Yes, because, you know, you're used to. We you know, there is a habit and there's a pattern developed when it comes to food. But he took high dosages. My formulas consist of over 50 different herbs of the highest pH levels. So he was taking over 50 capsules a day. Oh my goodness. If this was pharmaceuticals, wow, it would have done some damage to him, but there's no damage. Only cell reparation. Why? Because all the formulas are made by God. All the formulas were made by God. No side effects. Never will you see, this is my Iron Lion formula. This is one of my most powerful blood cleanser. All my formulas cleanse the blood in some form or the other. But this is my Jordan for cleansing the blood, the Iron Lion. Over 50 capsules a day, 750 milligrams. You need high dosages like that. Why? Because the body is at a major deficit. We need to put oxygen back into the blood and into the cells. The cells are dying because the mucus is broken. And what does the mucus do in this case? The mucus, in this case, stifles the oxygen. So there's no more oxygen in the blood, or very little. So the cells start to die. But once the formulas are in the system, oxygen starts to come into your blood, and now the cells start to repair, regenerate life, and the resonance starts to raise into the body. One of the first things that people saw in this patient, he got off of the morphine. He's been taking morphine for, at that point, for well over 4 years. He's had a cancer for over 4 years. And he was still feeling pain while taking the morphine. But once he started using my formulas, The pain was gone. He stopped taking the morphine. 2 days, no more morphine, no pain. Why? Because there's now oxygen is going up into his cells. He was walking slumped over. He started to walk more upright because he's got minerals now in his body. His body's coming to life. When people saw him, they saw that he was starting to walk more upright and he had a little bit more kick, his movement, and his skin started to clear up and tonify. People were like, wow, he was months away from dying. People were like, wow, what are you doing? He told them, it was my formula, but it's actually God. These formulas are made by God. I am just the man that takes God's work, put them in the right formula, and with some education, give you that pass so that you can bring yourself back to life. Now, as he started to better, his energy start to come back. So a lot of people started to call me because they saw the results. And in 3.5 months, he was cancer free. In 3.5 months, he was cancer free. Imagine that. So, what I had done for him, oh, I wish I could have done for our good brother and so many others that has lost their life. But we are here. We are here. We're available. Do not sleep on us. Give us the respect. Put the respect back. Get out from underneath this hypnotized state we're in via the medical community has hypnotized everybody. Say this is the way. Anything else is taboo and it's spooky. No, it isn't. So you're if you say that, then you are insulting God, because all my formulas are the creation of God. The medicines they use in the medical community is not a creation of God. It's synthetic. You're going to trade one thing for many other detrimental things, and that one good thing that you might, or okay thing that you might have gotten, eventually down the road is going to catch up to you. So you're going to get damage done to your liver, your kidneys. Like I said, my formulas, you will never see. This is my Male Max Testo. This is for males. It can be used by females too. This is to clean out, and the men give your swag back. But you will never see in my formulas, precaution causes dizziness, drowsiness, vomiting, swelling, insomnia. No, you will never see that. Why? because everything in my formulas are natural. It's God made. Come back home, my people. Come back home to the natural and the correct healing. When you go astray from nature, nature is very unforgiving. Let me say that again. When you stray from nature and you go against it, nature comes down heavy on you. But when you are obedient and you stay committed and dedicated to you, it will reward you 1,000 times over. How beautiful is that? We see this every day. We see this every day. When you come to a herbalist, this is the position that people take. Oh, they come to us generally when their MDs tell them, you know, there's really not much we can do for you, you know. So they come to us and they come with this attitude and this scrutiny and this energy. I said, no, for your diseases, you come to us. You come to us first. For your diseases, you come to us and you come to us first. But come humble. Come with an open mind. Because a part of healing, an intricate part of healing, is actually believing. And when we say believing, I'm talking about you make yourself open. You have to be open. When you come with your pen and paper. Come with your question. But don't come with your sarcastic questions. Come humble. When you come with an understanding that you are going to be healed. But there is a protocol that has to be followed, that you are ultimately in control of. You're going to have to give up the flesh. You're going to have to give up the flesh. You're going to have to give up the cow. You're going to have to give up the sheep. You're going to have to give up the goat. You're going to have to give up the chicken. But I can assure you, you're going to get better. How fast do these formulas work? They work. The formulas start to work right away. It's not an overnight cure. It's not. Nothing is. But you're going to be healed. And you're going to be healed within 6 months. And don't keep patients over 6 months. But when you come to us, do not come with your, oh man, you're my last stop. Is this gonna work? And you know what is in here? And you know what? No, you don't hold the medical establishment to that type of standard. Why are you gonna do that to me? In fact, you should be holding them to that standard because they're giving you artificial substances. There is nothing that you're going to get from me in which is artificial. All the things all the formulas that you get from me, if you do a biochemistry study, you will see those are the things that are naturally present in your body. I'm awakening them. I'm awakening the body now. But not only am I awakening the body, I'm also awakening the mind. Because remember, as we talked about, health ties into your intelligence. So when you come to me, come with confidence. Come with knowing you're going to win. You're going to more than just heal your body. You're going to heal your mind. You're going to learn so much about yourself. It's a journey, which in many respects, I'm going to reintroduce you to yourself. I'm going to teach you the science of sunlight as it pertains to healing, as it pertains to life on our planet. I'm going to teach you the science of grounding, of how the electromagnetic this planet is, and how you use the planet to heal you, and how we're connected. I want to heal you. I want to heal you. I'm going to heal you the first time, but I'm going to teach you how to maintain your health. The medical establishment does not do that or cares to do that. That's not integrity. My job is to heal you so you can have your own independence, maintain your health, and you become a part of the family, because we are family. So when you come to me ready to be healed, ready to be transformed, learn about yourself, and in many respects, for many of you, for the first time, to make the best version of you. Make the best version of you. It's never too late. You're 80 years old, you come to me, let me make the best version of you at 80 years old. Let me restore your energy. Let me make you see the light. Oh my goodness. As an herbalist, you need to know, it's important. An herbalist also has to be a historian. You need to know history as an herbalist. Why? Because it's connected. Show me herbs, I show you history. Show me history, I show you herbs. It's very important. Timeline. Because some of those timelines can tell us, if this herb was created at a particular time in history, then that's telling us that herb is not going to heal us. It's hybrid. But if that herb, talk about, wow, it was used during a time where there was great sickness, like your dandelion, the teeth of the lion. We know it's alkaline and it's powerful and it's going to heal you. The marijuana, which heals over 40 different types of diseases. The real marijuana, not synthetic. It's a powerful herb. It was demonized. That's the reason why it was demonized, because it was so powerful. Raise your consciousness. Excellent. One of the best for Parkinson's. Excellent. One of the best herbs for the central nervous system. There is a lot that goes into being an herbalist. You have to love healing people even more than healing yourself. You have to go to bed every day with the excitement of what tomorrow will bring, as you will make your healing that much better. The Afro Biomineral Balance is what I practice. My intracellular chelation packages is the best on the planet. My intracellular chelation package is the best on the planet. Well, why would you say it's the best on the planet? Because it is. I'm not saying others don't work. Mine is the best. And I'm going to make it even better. We never sleep on it. When you come to me, you're going to be healed, and you're going to be healed in the shortest time possible. I'm not promoting a miracle. I'm promoting healing at the highest level and the most effective without side effects. Fam, I'm embarking on a new venture, which is part of the evolutionary process for me of opening my own laboratory. That's right. A healing center on one side, and then the other is health and beauty products and food manufacturing process. Looking to open a 5,000 square foot facility where we have my own farm, to where I can pick from the garden. I can dictate the practices of the farm, organic, and the manufacturing practices, good manufacturing practices at the highest level. They call it GMP, good manufacturing practices. Fam, I hope, I ask for your participation in making this possible by donating to my website. Hit the donate button on my website, www.ph7-1.com. That's www.ph7-1.com. Hit the donate button, or you can purchase a product. So those are your two options: purchase a product or make a donation. So we can have our own manufacturing where we can heal, and even at a higher level. I'm looking to add in my therapy to make it even deeper, to make it work even faster, to add hyperbaric therapy, oxygen therapy. Imagine that. Wow. Yes, fam. I need your help and your participation. I'm going to keep you educated. I'm going to make a lot more content. But your help, we are a team. Help your team member. Let's achieve the dream. www.ph7-1.com is the website. Smash that donate button or make your purchase, fam. RIP Chadwick Boseman, Black Panther.